There's a new first-time homebuyer program making its way through Congress right now. It's got no down payment, no monthly mortgage insurance, and it's expected to get passed this year. And best of all, it's got huge bipartisan support. It's called the HELPER Act of 2023, and I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm Rebecca from the Rebecca Foote Mortgage Team, and we're an actual lender that works with actual home buyers, which means we know what we're talking about because mortgages are all that I do. So before we get started, if you want to be the first to know about when mortgage rates drop, when new programs come out, when discounts and deals become available, make sure you find that subscribe button and hit it. You also want to make sure you hit that notification bell. And to make sure that you get updated as soon as the HELPER Act becomes a law, there's a link in the descriptions so we can send you an email alert to let you know. And when you're ready to get pre-approved, you can do that online in minutes by just going to my website, RebeccaFoote.com. Now in this video, we're going to tell you all about the HELPER Act of 2023, how it works, who's eligible for it, what the checklist is for applying, and we're going to close out with a discussion on when the HELPER Act should pass and become a law so you can take advantage of it. All right, so let's talk about the HELPER Act. Let me make this a little bigger for you so you can see it a little bit. There we go. So the HELPER Act is a bill that modifies an FHA loan for eligible buyers. And it does this by eliminating FHA's 3.5% minimum down payment and by waiving FHA's monthly mortgage insurance premium, their MIPs. This is a great deal. It's an FHA loan with no down payment and no MIP. This is a huge boost to home affordability because that monthly mortgage insurance, it did get lowered earlier this year in 2023, but it used to be, I've seen FHA mortgage insurance be over $300 a month. And even with it being lowered, it's still over $100 a month for most FHA loans. So this is a huge boost to home affordability. So who is eligible for this? It's right there in the name. Homes for every local protector, educator, and responder. The HELPER Act is for the heroes in our community, our teachers, our firefighters, our law enforcement, our EMTs and paramedics, so that they can buy homes that are affordable for them in their local communities. And if that sounds like you, we have details on the roles that are included and the job titles that qualify. Just make sure you reach out to me. The good news is, if you're in one of these jobs as a protector, an educator, a first responder, the rest of the program qualifications are really straightforward because it's just an FHA loan, which are the mortgages that have the widest berth for things like credit, income, credit cards, and student loans. You see, home buyers that have below average credit, I should say, are eligible for FHA mortgages, which means they're eligible to have below average credit for the HELPER Act mortgage as well. Buyers can have high DTIs, that's the debt to income ratio too. FHA allows for it, therefore the HELPER Act allows for it too. The HELPER Acts are FHA mortgages, just with 0% down payment and no monthly mortgage insurance. So how do people qualify for the HELPER Act of 2023? There's 8 basic requirements, and requirements 1 and 2 we already discussed. You have to be a full-time protector, educator, or responder. You have to be FHA mortgage qualified. So those we already talked about. Number 3, the third qualification is you have to be a first-time home buyer. Now, the government defines first-time home buyer as somebody who has not owned a home in the prior 3 years. So, for example, if you owned a home 4 years ago and now you've been renting for the past 4 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer again, and you are eligible for the HELPER Act. Number 4, the HELPER Act is single use only. Obviously, everybody wants to have a 0 down payment, no monthly mortgage insurance loan, right? But if you used it before, if you've been listed on the HELPER Act, mortgage before, you can't use it twice. 5th, you must have worked at least 4 of the last 5 years of employment in HELPER-related jobs. That doesn't mean 4 years of only being a teacher or only being an EMT. It means 4 years of the past 5 you worked in jobs that fall under the HELPER Act umbrella. So you could have changed jobs. And related to that is number 6. At closing, you're going to be asked to sign and certify a document that says you intend to stay at your job for at least 12 months. So you can't game the system just to get a great mortgage product. In good faith, you have to certify that you plan to stay on your job. Now, we get it. Life does happen, and it's not always things that you want. Maybe your job changes for reasons that are in or out of your control. That's okay, and that's allowed. You just can't take a loan knowing that you're going to be switching jobs. That would be perjuring yourself, and last time I checked, that seemed pretty bad. Number 7, you must be in good standings at your work, which means you can't be on probation or under any type of investigation for actions that would be grounds for termination. And lastly, 8, the HELPER Act is for 1-unit homes only, and they have to be your primary residence. So it could be a standalone home, on a street, a condo in a building, a townhome. It can even be a mobile home as long as it's permanently fixed to a foundation and it's on land that you own. Anything as long as it's a 1 unit and you plan to occupy it as your primary residence. Now, the HELPER Act, and according to the data we found from places like Bureau of Labor Statistics, Bureau of Justice, National Centers for Education, there is more than 6 million people eligible for the HELPER Act. That's a lot of people who can stop renting and start living the American dream of home ownership. And they can start building wealth for them and their families. And because of all that, there are a few additional reasons why the HELPER Act should get passed into law very soon. You see, it's not a brand new bill. It was first introduced in the last Congress, the 2021-2022 Congress. And it was one of more than a dozen bills taking aim on home affordability. Some other bills, like there was a $15,000 first-time homebuyer tax credit. There was another one that was a $25,000 cash grant for first-time homebuyers. Those didn't pass because the HELPER Act is very, very different from those and from the other bills that were given to Congress. It's because it's not a tax credit and it's not paying cash grants to the homebuyer, both of which those items come at a cost to taxpayers, and the HELPER Act does not do this. It's self-funded. It pays for itself using FHA's other mortgage insurance mechanisms, and that's upfront mortgage insurance. Basically, they want to make this program like the VA program that's eligible to veterans. It's basically taking FHA and just making it like that VA program for the first responders, protectors, and teachers. Legislators wrote the HELPER Act in a way that no taxpayer money was needed, just like VA loans are. FHA loans are self-funded, and the HELPER Act loans are too. And that makes this bill way more likely to pass the House and the Senate. And maybe that's why it got such huge bipartisan support. Congress re-brought this bill back in May of 23, so just last month, or I guess a month and a half ago. And within the first week, it grabbed over 40 co-sponsors encompassing both parties. And that's another reason as to why this bill is likely to pass. And even better, the bill itself, it's not creating a new law. It only amends an existing one, the National Housing Act of 1934, which is the law that established FHA loans to begin with. The HELPER Act amends the original law by adding a section that says homebuyers who work as educators, protectors, or first responders, and that are first-time homebuyers are allowed to get a modified version of the standard FHA loan that exempts them from the down payment and the monthly mortgage insurance. And because of this, the amendment is not a new law, and it's easier for Congress to pass. It could easily be voted on in fourth quarter of 23, sometime probably after October. And to get updates and know exactly when the HELPER Act is passed, make sure you sign up for our email alerts in the description below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get a head start so you can be the first to know law. Wrong thing. So I'm Rebecca with the Rebecca Foote Mortgage Team. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave us your comments. I personally respond to all of them. Happy house hunting.